Kyle Whittingham, the Utah football coach, said some stupid things. I don't know if that's shocking to some of you. This is wild to me. He was asked by Spencer Checketts about the Holy War, and Whittingham said, well, first of all, you said the word permanently, like the Holy War is going to be permanent. And all I can say is that far from that. I think 2 to 3, maybe 5 years at the outside, everything is going to change again. So this may just be like a quick couple of years, the game returning, and then everything is blown up again and people go their separate ways. Whoa. If somebody said Nick Saban, what do you think about the Iron Bowl? He'd say it's one of the greatest rivalries in college football. I love it. I support it. Hey, Jim Harbaugh, what do you think about the game? Michigan, Ohio State. Oh, I love it. It's great. It's great for college football. It's one of the premier weekends that exists. Kyle Whittingham, what do you think about the best rivalry in the Big 12 and playing BYU in the Holy War? I hate it. It's terrible, and so it's the worst. I hope it never happens again. Maybe it won't. And here's what I've deduced. You've got to be scared at some point. And I know there are going to be Utah fans who I have gotten your good graces, hopefully, but let's think about what your head coach just said. He just said that of the rivalry game that is the marquee one in the Big 12, that it might not still exist in 5 years. Instead of saying a normal guy thing, like, oh, I love the Holy War, it's a great rivalry for both teams. Instead, he said, yeah, well, we might not even play that in a couple of years. Might not even be a thing. Instead of a normal answer, a thing that a human being would say, he deflected the single most important game on Utah's football schedule most year. He deflected the thing that people in the state of Utah argue the most about. It wasn't, it's a hell of a rivalry. It was, yeah, we might not ever do that again. Why do Utah fans, not even just the fans, the head literal coach, if you're a Utah fan listening, you can't deny this. Your head coach said it. Why do these Utah people keep denying the Holy War? Again, at some point, there's nothing other than the fact of this team is scared. There's a fear factor to this. Keen example. It's not a direct. This is kind of apples and oranges, but bear with me here. I grew up in Arkansas. Arkansas would never play Arkansas State. They'd never played UALR. Why would Arkansas not play Arkansas State? Because if given the off year they lose to Arkansas State, they'll never hear the end of it. Now I know Utah and BYU are much more even brands, but at this point, Utah is saying, hey, I know we've dominated this series. I know we've won way more games in this series. I don't really know if we want to play that anymore. I don't really know if we want to have this historic, awesome rivalry. Can you just be a normal guy for 2 seconds? Can you just say a normal thing? Why do you have to go take this rivalry and say, we don't need it. We don't want it. You make a ton of money off of it. It drums up more recognition than any other rivalry in the Big 12. Those seem like really objectively good things, right? Then what would be the downside? So tell me Utah fans that are like, oh, I hate this guy. Turning your dial and throwing things. Tell me what would be the cause for Kyle Whittingham to say this? What would be the cause for the head coach of Utah to say, oh, this rivalry might not exist in a couple of years? So why would I even comment on the repeat Holy War if it's not going to be a thing? It's the stupidest thing in the world, man. Just say it's a great rivalry. Why does Utah try to escape playing BYU so much? Why does Utah try to escape BYU so much? Rivals, true rivals, do not run from each other. True rivals want to play each other anytime, any place, any location. I thought this was a true rivalry, but Utah's head coach has made it very clear they don't want to play BYU. Texas A&M ran from Texas. Utah is now setting itself up to run away from BYU. But for what? A&M was getting killed by UT. The rivalry wasn't close. It was a guaranteed loss for A&M. They could never become the bigger brand in Texas if they kept losing to Texas every year. Is that what BYU and Utah is? Does BYU so big of a brand that Utah says, hey, if we don't play them and we're really good, then maybe our brand is salvaged. Maybe our brand is better than BYU's if we never lose to them. You think that's what it is? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's Utah saying, oh, if we don't play them, we don't have to lose to them. Granted, it hasn't happened that many times in history. If we don't play them, we don't have to lose to them. So we can just sit here, win the Pac-12 every year, and become the biggest brand in Utah. Then you're scared of losing to BYU. I don't love the theory. I don't love this for you. I'm not preying upon the Utah downfall. But who says something like this? I want to know what a different reason would be. What would the other reason for him saying that be? That other than him being in some way scared of playing BYU. BYU fans aren't nasty. They're not nasty liars. They're tired of the trash talk the BYU players bring. Is the pageantry too much? Is he scared of a big game? I don't understand why he would deflect the holy war. And as some of you will say, oh, he just said that. It's true. Expansion's crazy. So like nothing's permanent. That's all he was trying to say. No. It's not a normal real guy answer. A normal real guy answer is not to stop that guy and say, hey, whoa, wrong. Might never play this rivalry again. Please. No. That's not how this thing goes. Kyle Whittingham, you are the loser of the day for me. You were the loser of the day, even more so than the ACC, for just being weird about that little. Do you like this rivalry? No, I wish we never play. Maybe we'll never play it again. Maybe it won't even be a thing. You gonna do your homework next week? I don't know. That's next week. The world could end before then. That's what he did. I don't know. The world could end. Hey, what are you doing? What are your plans for Christmas? I don't know. Christmas is 6 months away. The world could end before then. That's literally what Kyle Whittingham said. Hey, cool rivalry, right? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a rivalry anymore. Don't be like that, Kyle. I liked you. I still like you. Just why? Brett Yormark's the best. Right here on Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.